Out of all the business people online, Alex Hormozi is probably one of the most renowned names that you can think of. In fact, I think he may be the only entrepreneur that's actually free from any sort of criticism from anybody. Till this date, I've never seen anybody criticize him because of the sheer amount of value that he provides. So it might surprise you when I say that I completely stopped watching Alex Hormozi. In fact, I ran some numbers and I found out that it is mathematically impossible for Alex Hormozi to be helping more people than he's hurting. Now, before you run to the comment section, let me go over the 5 main reasons for why I stopped watching Alex Hormozi. If you don't know who I am, my name is Haadi Sulman. I'm the founder and CEO of Compass Coaching, and we basically help entrepreneurs get a higher return on their time. The first reason is that the math just doesn't make sense. If you look at any Hormozi video, the amount of views that it has makes it borderline impossible for all of the people watching that content to be business owners. Now, I'm not saying that these people don't have a landing page or a logo or some sort of fake business. These are the people that I like to call entrepreneurs. The ones that have LLCs, landing pages, logos maybe, but they're not actually all in on the business that they're running. But mathematically, the amount of people watching a Hormozi video, most of them are not the avatar that he means to target. If you go to acquisition.com, it tells you very clearly who he wants. He wants businesses that are doing at least $1 million in EBITDA. Statistically, it is very unlikely that most of the people watching that video are doing that. And if you don't believe me, if you are watching Alex Hormozi, how much in EBITDA do you make? Now, if you're above $1 million, then I would say that's completely fine. But if you're not at $1 million EBITDA, then you're wasting your time. But what's even worse is, as I get to my second point, you are stuck in consumption over execution. Now, there was a clip of Alex Hormozi when he went on Ali Abdaal's podcast, and this is what he had to say.
To your point, even of alternative education in general, when you say, hey, you could learn this stuff on YouTube, et cetera, the issue that we're solving for is not that it's not a knowledge gap. The issue is an accountability gap, is that people don't do stuff.
See, the thing is, the information is available on YouTube. The information is available out there. There's so many people other than Alex Hormozi even that are providing the free value. But the problem is, the people that are stuck below $1 million EBITDA kind of know what they need to do. You know, you just need to be making more calls. You know, you need to be sending out more DMs. But instead of doing that, what do? You watch Alex Hormozi's video. And so you're basically like a business professor. You know so much theory, but you're not actually implementing any of it. And so there's kind of this flywheel effect that I fell into. And by the way, I think I've watched 90% of Alex Hormozi's content because I just binged it. I did that instead of making calls, instead of actually sending emails to my clients, instead of making this content that you see right here. And what we actually need in order to stop doing that is accountability. We just need somebody that holds us accountable to actually doing the things that we know we need to be doing. Right now, the problem is not an information deficit. We have all the information we need. We just need to execute. But what's even worse is actually the third point, which is that the advice is too high level. I remember at one point I was watching an Alex Hormozi video on how to scale sales teams. I didn't even have any leads. Obviously, there's a hierarchy of actions that you need to take. If you don't have any leads, you go get the damn leads. Why was I watching that video about scaling sales teams? By the way, that video has a decent amount of views. I bet you most of those people do not have a sales team just based on statistics. And that's the problem with a lot of this content, is that it's too high level. At the core of it, the entrepreneur needs to do fundamental revenue generating activities. Calls, DMs, whatever sort of outreach mechanism it is. And just fundamentally, Alex Hormozi is so far ahead. The lessons that he's currently regurgitating, the lessons that he's learning, the lessons that he's making stuff about are not always going to be applicable to us. In fact, Alex Hormozi has very clearly said that he wants to make the type of content that nobody else can make, meaning he only wants to talk about what he can talk about. A lot of the times, the only things that he can talk about are those higher level lessons that only he has learned. But those aren't applicable to you and me, because all we need to do is sit our asses down, not watch YouTube videos and write them off as research, and actually do the damn work. But there is a real, genuine critique that I have of Alex Hormozi's content, and over time, this has gotten worse and worse. And that is that the advice is extremely non-tactical. Now, obviously, as you get wider and wider for larger business owners, people doing 10, 20, $30 million a year, you don't necessarily need tactics. Heck, tactics might stop working. You might know all the tactics already. But a lot of the people that are starting off off, in order to start seeing traction, in order to start building momentum, they need those little tactics. Okay, make a creative that looks like this, send this type of email, or, source your leads from here, or call, people from this particular database. Those very specific tactics, those aren't something that you see in Alex's content anymore. When I used to watch him back in the day, he used to actually tell you the names of softwares. He used to tell you, hey, use this Hemingway writer and write your emails in it. He used to tell you, hey, you can use, Facebook ads, run a lead form ad, and then you can also use Zapier. Like, now he doesn't even name specific softwares. He just gives you like a very broad picture because he's so conscious about his brand, which might be a reason for why he doesn't list any of his companies. None of his companies are listed that he owns as part of acquisition.com. So I would say that at times, and I'm not saying this applies in every single sphere all the time, at times you would benefit from watching other people that have much more tactical advice instead of Hormozi, who's throwing a wide net with all the information he has. And yes, he's very knowledgeable. He's casting a wide net. But what you need right now are the minute little tactics that you can start implementing and start seeing an immediate return on. And this last one is absolutely going to leave you baffled, okay? This is point number 5, and I really contemplated whether or not I should add this in. And it's actually that free value, quote unquote, leads to a neglection of information. And what exactly do I mean by this? What I mean is that the fact that all of this information is available to us, you and me, for free, means that we are just much less likely to actually take action on. And this is just how things are with free shit. And look, I have crapped on a lot of gurus, but I'll say one thing. A lot of times the information that they kind of synthesize for you is stuff you can find on YouTube, yes, but it's the fact that you pay for it, whether you pay $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 for their course, whatever it is, maybe even if it's $1,000. When you pay for it, you commit to following that specific structure and actually executing on it. In other words, it's not the information really that matters, it's the accountability. And with free value, there's no accountability. You can watch a video by Alex Hormozi, probably have 10 things that you need to do based on the information on that video and implement into your business, but you don't actually do it because why? The next video is just, a click away. And then you watch another video, and then you watch another video. And so you neglect the information that you consume. By the way, if this is stuff that you struggle with, we are hosting a free 6-week focus challenge for entrepreneurs. We're not going to tell you how to do business. We're not going to give you a course or sell you the newest tactic or strategy. All we're going to do is keep you accountable to the commitments that you want to make to yourself. You watch an Alex Hormozi video, these are the 3 action steps. We will actually keep you accountable to doing that. Our accountability systems operate on the week, the day, and the hour, and we'll assign you a dedicated coach throughout these 6 weeks.
Because there's a service that just sells accountability. They literally just like whatever your goals are, will just hold you accountable. Like that's it. It's all they sell. And I think you get some touch base every week with somebody who just like, you said you were going to do this. Have you done it? What's the plan for this week? Basically, they just help people prioritize and eliminate. And I think that's pretty valuable.
Not only that, because this is a new offer and I need feedback, I'm going to be taking a call with you every single week. This is a big commitment on my end, but the reason why I'm doing is because it's a new offer, I need feedback on exactly how it's worked. So if this is something you're interested in, I understand 6 weeks is a long commitment. You can click on the link below. Once you reserve your spot, it'll show you a video which will go in depth into all the systems, everything. That'll be down in the description below. Other than that, if you enjoyed the video, like the video. And by the way, guys, leave your comments. If you disagree with me, I would absolutely love to see your guys' opinions. Again, this is just from my personal experience of what I saw from Alex Hormozi recently. I think he still has one of the most valuable, repositories of information online. In fact, most of this video wasn't even a critique of him. It was a critique of the people that watch Alex Hormozi. With that being said, stop consuming, start executing. Ciao.